we're going to talk about today about which vegetables are better, because we see on social media and we see on papers and we see on the news that someone is saying, oh no, look, the best thing that you can do is to eat kale, or no, kale is terrible and it's going to damage your kidneys, and you're going to see maybe people going for tomatoes saying that they're great and the other guy saying, no, they're the worst. And we don't know what to eat. I'm not interested if you want to be a vegetarian, an omnivore, a vegan, or whatever, by the fact that you decide what type of food that you want to ingest or the kind of diet that you want to follow. Some people end up not knowing the power behind eating good amount of vegetables. Some of the vegetables that you might find on a regular supermarket that might be good for your health, although all of them are good, and in all of them, if we go deep inside any other vegetable, we're going to find great nutrients inside of them. But I want to point you 9 or 10 vegetables that you can include, and at the end I'm going to tell you how is the best way to include them in your diet. So let's remember something. I like recommending my patients to go with an omnivore diet that it's rich or plant-based, and remember, being plant-based doesn't mean that you are going only for vegetables, and it has a purpose, and the purpose are two. Number one, when we ingest very high amount of vegetables in our diet, when we combine them, when we make it like a jungle full of color, smells, flavors, different textures, and all the different varieties that I want to find in my plate, what happens? Two things. Number one, I'm going to be ingesting a very high amount of fiber. When I incorporate fiber in my diet, the two types of fiber that we have, soluble and insoluble fiber, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is I'm going to have all the effects of fiber by itself for lowering the velocity or the speed in which glucose enters my bloodstream. So that's going to have a metabolic effect. That's going to have effects in my weight, effects on my blood sugar. I'm going to have effects on my gastrointestinal system. So I'm going to have a better digestion. The bowel movements are going to be much better. I'm going to have a better effect on my microbiome. And you may think by eating a plate full of broccoli, that's enough. Humans, adults, we need around 30 to 35 grams of fiber per day, and a plate of broccoli has 7. So that gives you an idea of that we should be consuming a lot of vegetables, that we need to be consuming a lot of fiber, not only coming from vegetables, it could come from fruit, nuts, seeds, legumes, but we need to be ingesting different variety of foods that have enough fiber. Now, point two, it's because we have macronutrients that are very important in vegetables. Number 1, vitamins. Number 2, minerals. And number 3, phytonutrients, which are antioxidants in some cases, but phytonutrients that are going to be highly important for different aspects of our health. But they are just, as the name says, phyto comes from the vegetable world. So we're going to find in vegetables, seeds, nuts, fruits, but they're only over there. And vegetables are very high in phytonutrients. So let's go and talk about some of the most common vegetables that we can find in our diet that are going to be very good for our health. And please stick with me, because at the end we're going to see which strategies you can use so you can make them easy, so you can enjoy them, and so you can make them part of your daily life, because again, they are very important. Number 1, it's spinach. And we always, when we remember Popeye, well, Popeye ate spinach for something. They didn't came up with broccoli or tomatoes or carrots. No, they came up with spinach, and of course, spinach is it's a very great vegetable to put in your diet. Spinaches have great amount of fiber, that they have great amount of vitamin K. Vitamin K is very important for our coagulation, for our blood, and it's very important also for bone health. And vitamin K also plays a role in our metabolism. And the amount of vitamin A that also has, that the spinaches also have, it's very important. Number 2, it's broccoli. Broccoli is very well known for a variety of things, for the amount of vitamin C or vitamin K, for other antioxidants, but there is a molecule called DIM or DIM in broccoli that it's very interesting. And DIM regulates the conversion in between estrogen and testosterone in men and in women. We don't want to be converting a lot of testosterone into estrogen, although we need it, and it's very important for a wide variety of functions, especially for our brain function, but we don't want to be converting too much. We want to be converting only the right amount. So including broccoli in our diet, it's something that we can include so we can regulate that pathway, which is highly recommended. The next one is kale. I've seen people on social media saying, oh, don't eat kale because kale is bad for your kidneys because it has this compound which damages your kidneys. Yeah, if you eat a ton, but if you eat it, I don't know, once or times a week tops, and the amount that you're eating, that it's only on your plate, nothing is going to happen. Kale is full of antioxidants, it's full of vitamin C, full of vitamin E, and full of beta-carotens, which are a type of antioxidants. The next one are carrots. Carrots are very well known for the relationships they have with vitamin A, and vitamin A with their relationship with our eyes. If you want to see, carrots have also great amounts of vitamin C, and vitamin C, it's very useful in our immune system, and it's very useful on aging. So when we include carrots in our diet, we're getting both. The next one are red peppers. Red peppers have a wide variety of nutrients, including vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E, different flavonoids, which are types of antioxidants, but they also have quercetin and they have lycopene. Both of them are also antioxidants, very, very interesting, with very interesting functions. The next one are red beets or beets. When we analyze beets, when we go deep into the biochemistry of beets, when we go deep inside beets, we're going to find betaline, which is a type of antioxidant, very interesting inside beets. And what it does is that when it gets into our body, it enhances the production of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide has been found in several studies or different variety of conditions in our body, that it makes our circulation better, because what nitric oxide does is that it dilates our arteries in a way that we have better circulation, and then of course it's going to be good for our brain health, for our cardiovascular health, but it's also gained a lot of importance in the world of endurance and in the world of sports. So you might find a lot of supplements that have betaline or that have different compounds derived from beets, but are especially because of this function. And finally, there is a type of onion that I recommend, that it's leek onion. And leek onions have a very specific nutrient, which I like a lot, and that most people have deficient, which is vitamin K. That they are very, very high in vitamin K and vitamin A. But leek onions are also very high in vitamin K, which has functions for our blood, for coagulation, and for our bones. We could go longer and longer and longer talking about a lot of vegetables, and maybe you say, oh, you forgot asparagus, and asparagus are the best, or you forgot Brussels sprouts, which are the best. Again, if I didn't mention your favorite one, please forgive me. We could go again and going and going and going. What do we want? What I want to you is that remember that we need to include them in our diet, and I was pointing out that whenever we get any vegetable, we're going to find great amount of fiber, great amount of phytonutrients. But now let's go for different recommendations so you can include them in your diet and you're going to start enjoying vegetables in your diet. Pay attention to this. I want you to eat them mostly fresh whenever you can, mostly local. Wash them in an easy way. Use water or water with vinegar. Soak them. You can soak them and then you can wash them, and that's it. Don't go for chemical stuff to make it sterile because they're going to have E. coli or something. Yeah, they might, but it's not something that happens every single day to every single human. Just soak them in water with vinegar and then wash them, and that's it. If you're going to cook them, make sure that the best way of cooking them is when you steam the vegetables, not when you put them in water. When we cook them in water, some of the nutrients that we just discussed end up in the water, and you're going to pour that water out, and then you're going to eat the vegetables. And you might say, yeah, but the texture, it's almost the same. Yeah, but the nutrients that you're ingesting are completely different. The other thing is, if you cannot find them fresh, look for them frozen. When they are frozen, most of the nutrients are going to be conserved, and they're going to be preserved when they are well frozen. And when you include them again in your diet, you can steam them, or you can put them in a little bit of olive oil and just a little fast cook, and then you start enjoying them. The best way to support us is very easy. Just to hit here the like button, to subscribe to the channel, and to hit the bell, and we can be in contact together, building even more this community. Thank you guys, and till next time.